In July, I didn't watch that many movies compared to the previous few months. I have vacation, and a lot of that time I spent hiking in the Swiss Alps, and yeah, in the evening that left me pretty worn out. Although I did manage to watch 10 movies and 2 short films, so I guess that does add up to about one movie every 3 days. I start the month off with rewatching Call Me By Your Name for a third time. This movie has left a really wonderful impression on me, and yeah, it inspires me to go travel whenever that's possible again. And yeah, it also just reminds me that I really want to learn Italian one day and go spend some months or maybe even a year there one day. What also makes this movie so magical for me is the beautiful soundtrack that is played over the scenes. Especially the song Mystery of Love is somehow very emotional but inspiring at the same time, and I actually listen to it a lot whenever I'm traveling. Mystery of Love is a great way how you could describe this movie, and for anyone who loves this story, I highly recommend to go read the book and also to read the sequel called Find Me. 1917 is a movie I've been waiting to see for a long time, and I now really regret that I didn't go watch it in the movie theater when it first came out. For anyone who isn't familiar with this multiple Academy Award winner, it's a movie by director Sam Mendes and is set in World War II. What makes it especially unique is that it was filmed in a way to look like it was only filmed in one take, although it has multiple cuts hidden throughout the entire movie. After we finished the movie, my dad and I went to go check out the behind the scene footages, and it was really amazing to see how much effort was put into each take. Not just the actors, but the camera crew, the cinematographer, basically the entire camera staff had to really be on cue to get the timing right and so that it could fit into the movie. And since some shots lasted for multiple minutes, almost about a mile of trenches had to be built for this movie. For me, this movie was really inspiring to see what all is possible in the world of cinema. A few weeks ago, I saw a post on Instagram where the Film Zone showed a comparison of a scene from the short film and the feature-length film Whiplash. You see, Damien Chazelle, the director of La La Land, first didn't get the funding he needed to create the feature-length movie, so he didn't just give up immediately. He took one of those scenes from that he had intended to have in the movie and made that scene into a short film and entered it to the Sundance Film Festival. So after he had entered it to Sundance, he won the Short Film Jury Award. As an aspiring filmmaker, I find this very inspiring. It shows that if one of your ideas gets denied, there are other ways you can work around it and yeah, find a way to make that movie possible. The next day, I watched another short film. What Did Jack Do is directed and played by David Lynch. I honestly don't really know what I thought of the movie, but I guess it was interesting. But I definitely want to check out some of David Lynch's other films. I've never seen any, but I've heard great things about them and that he has a unique style. Little Women is one of the only Best Picture nominees from last year that I haven't seen yet, and I'm really glad I did. Just like Lady Bird, I really love the collaboration of director Greta Gerwig and the two young actors, Saoirse Ronan and Timothée Chalamet. The three of them are just amazing, and I also really love this movie just like I did Lady Bird. I wasn't familiar with the story of Little Women, but I thought the movie was made very entertaining, although the editing was a bit confusing at times, just especially because I didn't know the story. But all in all, I had a great experience. The same week, my parents and I also checked out the 1994 version of Little Women. It told the story great too, but compared to the newer version, it just wasn't as much fun. I must say they did a really great job on the casting in the new version. A few years back, I first watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Looking back now, I was definitely a bit too young to have really enjoyed the movie, But now, as a 20-year-old, I really had a great time watching this movie. Just like in Baby Driver, Edgar Wright makes the editing a part of the comedy and enhances the entire experience with it. This movie is great when you just want to take a break from reality and spend 2 hours watching a guy have to beat a girl's 7 evil exes in order to date her. As a kid, I used to get very emotional during movies. Now, over the years, I have managed to hold back my tears, at least a bit somewhat. But Lion is one of the movies that hits me emotionally every time I watch it. It's a very sad story that brings awareness to the over 80,000 children that go missing in India each year. The movie does a great job at making the audience feel with the protagonist by setting the mood with the cinematography and the beautiful score. I've never seen a Spike Lee joint before, but Do the Right Thing was definitely the perfect choice with everything going on in the US right now. I loved his unique style of filmmaking and some of the angles that he used, and there were also just beautiful colors set throughout the movie. And yeah, he also starred in it as well, Spike Lee. So I definitely want to check out more of his movies. What I really liked about this one was how at the end, after everything had unfolded throughout the movie, we were given a quote, I believe first by Martin Luther King, and then second a quote by Malcolm X, kind of showing the different perspectives they had on these type of situations. This is definitely a great watch, especially, as I've said before, with everything going on in the US right now. My dad recommended to watch Little Children, not only because it's a great movie that takes you in a different direction than you would think, but because Jackie Earle Haley has a supporting role in it that earned him an Academy Award nomination. He is the husband of my mom's friend, and we've gone to meet him twice before in Texas. I believe on one of the pictures I'm 11 and on the other I'm around 13 or 14. So Jackie, if you're watching this, I just wanted to let you know that I thought your performance was really great and couldn't have been pulled off so well by any other actor. My dad and I then convinced my little sister to watch Back to the Future with us. It's really just a classic movie that is so fun to watch, and I have seen I don't know how many times in the past. It's an important movie, not just for cinema, but for pop culture, and I really love how they depicted the year 1985. Now to this month's movie recommendations. My first pick is 1917, not just because it's a great film, but just already to see all the effort that they had to put into it deserves a watch. As I mentioned before, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a great movie if you want to have some great laughs, just switch off and yeah, just have a good time. Also, the music played by the fictional band Sex Bomb in the movie is really epic, and yeah, I actually was listening to the soundtrack the following week. The third recommendation goes to Lion because I find it such a beautiful movie. Really, everything about it is great. The story, the acting, the cinematography, even the music plays a really important role and adds a lot to the movie. I really hope to see a few more movies in the month of August. So yeah, I'll see you all next month.